What's up, G-Pac TV? How are you guys doing on this Monday? Yeah, this is definitely happy hour. You know what this is. This is the after work regular guy take of the news. And here we go. So, um, as you see, you have in back of me Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore is kind of, you know, shining his collar right now because he popping his collar right now. Let's be honest, because he's saying that people are talking about force the vote on $15 minimum wage, right? And these same people who are for force the vote on $15 minimum wage were lambasting him and coming after him when he was talking about force the vote for Medicare for all. I don't know. Does Jimmy have a point? Because is there an argument to say that force the vote on Medicare for all was more important than force the vote for $15 an hour? They're both important. But Medicare for all is the ultimate thing. We're talking about people's health. If you don't have health, you can't work. Forget a $15 minimum wage. So can you argue that force to vote was more important? I don't know. But listen, we'll talk about it afterwards. Listen to what Jimmy has to say.
Remember we did that thing called Force to Vote? It was for healthcare. It was for Medicare for all, and it was the Justice Democrats was asking them to do what they ran on, which was to withhold their vote from Nancy Pelosi. So they got something for us for it,
Yeah,
and they did it.
they did it.
And it exposed a lot of people. Exposed the Intercept for running interference for politicians, for doing Ryan Grimm doing access journalism, Cenk Uygur for being his complete tool, clown.
Wow.
Who else?
Damn.
Justin Jackson had to spank Ryan Gray. I mean, it was just a lot of people. Of course, it exposed all the Justice Democrats and the people who defend them and run interference for them. They all got exposed. Now Dave Dayen, from the
But do we throw the baby out with the
Prospect,
bathwater?
American Prospect. He also formerly from the Intercept, Dave Dayen. He says, put the minimum wage on the floor. Make anyone opposed have to vote against a very popular policy that every voter understands. Dave, I don't know. Sounds childish and half-baked.
You should ask for more.
I guess that's what they
I
were
don't know,
saying
why don't you ask
about
for
Jimmy
more,
when
then
he
less,
said.
then more things, and then no, you can't do it. And then, but have you tried being
This is
nicer?
funny.
You should try. Dave, first of all, this sounds like violence. Dave Dayen, I'm going to say it. This committee.
All right, we'll stop it there. You get the gist of what he's saying, right? So, can we make an argument that he has the right to run around the stadium, saying, "Hey, what are you saying people talking about now?" When I was talking about, ladder, which was forced to vote on Medicare for all. You people were coming after him, right? But see, my thing is, I'm not in the camp of all the way where Jimmy is at, or all the way where these other folks is at, who was coming at Jimmy when he was talking about forced to vote. Because if you looked at any of my latter video about this, I agree with forced the vote. And I said that I agree with Jimmy. I got a one with Jimmy. Is Jimmy right? The title says, is Jimmy right about forced to vote? So I agree with what he said, but the only people that we have in the Congress or anybody who can fight for us are the progressives like AOC and Cori Bush and all those people. Cori Bush just got in. So do we throw all of these people and say, hey, they are now traitors because they didn't go for one particular tactic that I wanted? Because I think that they should have. I agree with Jimmy. They should have forced the vote on that. But do I throw the baby out with the bathwater and say, hey, we're done with them because you have nothing? If you're done with them, what do you have? You have Republicans, and then you have establishment corrupt Democrats, and you have establishment corrupt Republicans. You have nothing without them at this point because we don't have that power inside of the Congress. So you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So I'm not sure, if saying all of those people betrayed the progressive movement because they didn't do that particular tactic that Jimmy and I think that you should have did. Now, I also agree with, which in my latter video, with the $15 minimum wage. Make them vote. Make them put them on record. Make them make a decision. Absolutely agree with that. Are you kidding me? You're going to let these people hide behind an unelected official in the parliamentary division who just says, oh yeah, I don't think it could be nothing but a budget. Does anybody believe that a $15 minimum wage has nothing to do with the budget? They had, information that came out before that says that when you take people off of government assistance, that brings the deficit down. So it's a ridiculous argument that has nothing to do. Do you know what Republicans use the budget reconciliation process to repeal Obamacare? So come on. So you're going to tell me that now we can't use that same process? The reality is the Democrats never really wanted to do it. That's where we're at. The Democrats never really wanted to do it. Joe Biden never really wanted to do it. The Republicans, when the parliamentary ruled against them, they fired them and got another one, and they went with whatever they wanted to do. Nobody batted an eye. So if you really want to do it, you can do it. In 2001, the Bush tax breaks, they did the same thing. They rammed through that whole thing. They didn't give a damn. Now Joe Biden, who promised $15, if you think that they can hide behind this, they have another thing coming. You see, because you promise people, and you can't hide behind the process when the precedent is that everybody else, mainly the Republicans, said screw the process and they did what they wanted to do. So it's time for the Democrats to stand up for what they promised American people. The $15 an hour wage. And for me, I make decent money. I make good money. So this is not for me. This is for, I'm saying this for all these other people who have to work 40 hours a week and can't even pay the bills and make things meet. Unbelievable in this richest country. And as the voters, we have to stop voting for a failed state. Stop voting for a failed state. We vote for this failed state. We put this failed state in there. So first, we need to start voting for people who want to get money out of the system, because that's the only way you're going to get it done anyways. But hey, this is just my take. I went off in a little tangent, but is Jimmy right to be able to circle the wagons now and say, ha ha, now you guys want to talk about push the vote and now it's okay? Because now Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks is saying he came at Jimmy too. Let's be honest. Now he is saying force, same thing. Force the vote on this. Is he a hypocrite for that? Come on. Talk to me, somebody. Let's have a conversation. I really want to know what you think. So, I think he may have a point. But like I said, I don't go all the way to the right and I don't go all the way to the other side. Well, it's hard to say that because this is a progressive side. So the right and left on the progressive side. I guess you could say it like that. So let's have a conversation. Like, share, tell me what you feel.